I finally made it. It only took me 2 days to get out here. Now I just have to hurry up and get an Uber and get down there. I can actually see the Tesla Takeover happening. Yeah, that's a lot better that it latches onto that part because this is such a thicker plastic here.
Yeah.
So it won't break.
Yep.
That is so awesome. And then the locking screw too, right?
Yes, there's a locking screw on the side.
Yeah, super smart. Otherwise people will be stealing them.
Yeah, there's an integrated locking screw. So once that's in, it blocks the path. And you can't take it out.
Okay. I wish I would have got one of these when I first got my car. So when I picked up my car from Tesla, there was actually a front license plate. Well, it was in the trunk, and yeah, it had the 3M tape. Yeah, yeah, and so I was like, okay, well, if Tesla put it in there, then it must be fine, right? And so I slapped that on my car before I got any bugs or anything. And now, after I saw this, I was like, I can't believe I put that 3M tape on the front of my car because I'm worried it's gonna peel off whenever I take it off.
So is it still on there?
Yeah.
I'll just wait till she's down there and I'll show you. This goes in on an angle, and if the edge of the rim's in the green, then you're okay for fitment. I'll show you here. You can keep the video rolling.
Cool, thank you.
It's a 3-point locking mechanism that we have, and if you're dealing with a stretched tire, part of it is the tire pushes, and it pinches this between the tire and the rim. If the tire is stretched out, you'd miss that part. So you shouldn't do an install, and that's if it goes into the red.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool. Thank you.
That's pretty cool.
This one here already installed, and then this one goes on top of it. So you do it all around the wheel.
And is it just plastic underneath, or is there like a little?
So you do have an extra layer of protection that we do give.
Okay.
Each,
Yeah, that's good.
this PPF film.
Okay.
You put that on, and what that does is if any dust or dirt gets in there,
Yeah,
it helps prevent it from damaging the wheel.
that's good. That's really good. That's awesome. Cool.
Thank you.
how many miles is it rated for?
Well,
Do you, like how like what?
Until it wears out is what the question is, what the response is. So if you look right here, what we do is this is the tire and wheel off of the Model 3. This is our spare tire, so you can kind of see the height. It really measures out to be the exact same.
Okay.
That gives you the ability to go a significant distance on the vehicle, really until it wears out. You do have to be mindful that you have a spare tire on there, and it's not as wide as this is, so the vehicle will have different traction capabilities, but it will certainly get you to wherever you need to go safely.
And can you put this on the front or the back?
Front or the back.
It's definitely preferred on the back though, right? Because you're not turning back and forth.
Either or is fine.
Okay.
The back, yeah, it's really fine either way. Maybe the back will be like 1% better, but
okay.
Because the tire diameters are an exact match, the Tesla drivetrain components are happy with it. One other thing to it is the tire is rated for freeway speeds. It has an 81 mile an hour DOT speed rating.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's really good.
Fairly capable. So
I like
design
it
to be able to get to where you need to go and solve the problem of getting stranded on the side of the road.
Yeah, and waiting for someone to come tow you that has a flatbed and knows what they're doing.
Yeah. I know. Knows what they're doing is an important part.
Yeah, it is very important.
Model 3 isn't the highest vehicle, and it's easy to damage the front bumper if it's not put on properly.
This is really, really awesome that y'all have that on there. I like it. Yeah, I definitely need to get one eventually.
You were full of drinks, dirt, mud, sand, very easy to clean.
Yeah, these are very similar to the ones that I have, but the company that made them went out of business. But these, so now that company went out of business, these are the mats that I actually recommend to everybody, even though I've never touched them before.
anyways, and especially they're all old guys. I mean, oh my God, it burn your retinas up. Anyhow, that's what they do. I'm pretty sure that when we tear it down, the surprises that we're going to get are going to eclipse anything we've seen on any Tesla vehicle up to now. I imagine that a small tank would come in second against the Cybertruck. I'm expecting that there's going to be a lot of very, very happy people if we can get one of those. By the way, anybody who has like a dozen Cybertrucks on order and gets one in a hurry, I would really like to buy that spot. I'm not kidding you.
That's one of my biggest complaints about my car. It's too rough.
Let's start over again. You know, it's great.
Yeah, tell me about the suspension.
So, most suspension out there, their target is looks, just dropping it, and that's their main purpose.
Yeah, I don't want to drop it.
It's kind of part of the point of springs for the most part, because that's what helps handling. So, Dynan's whole philosophy, though, is the dropping is a side effect. Our whole plan and our goal is to retain ride quality as factory, and whatever it drops in the process is what it drops down to.
Okay.
Like, for example, in the Model 3 here, it's only dropped about 7/8 of an inch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not dropped very much at all, but
it must just be the extra. Is that's new trim on the side that makes it look lower?
One of our prototype carbon fiber.
It looks really nice.
So, this may or may not make sense, but
it's okay. Try anyway.
Factory suspension is progressive rate springs, which can be a little harsh just because of how the spring rate is handled. Dynan springs, on the other hand, are linear rates; they're more predictable. So while technically these are a stiffer spring, because they're a different type of spring, they feel more compliant and softer.
Okay.
So on paper, it makes no sense because you look at a spring rate and say, "Oh, this is stiffer." Yes, technically it is if you're just looking at the straight rate, but because it's a linear rate instead of being like this is actually a dual rate, so it's probably a bad example, but linear or a progressive rate will have a big gap here, slightly smaller, slightly smaller, slightly smaller, etc.
Okay.
So the transition as it's going down is harsher, whereas here, pretend it's this right here.
Okay.
All these gaps are the same, so it's more predictable when it's compressing. So instead of getting stiffer quicker, it's always doing it at the same rate.
Oh.
So whereas the factory is doing that quickness, which is great for handling technically, this is just more predictable.
Okay.
So it's kind of a weird thing to explain, but
yeah, especially when I don't know it. It makes sense the way you explained it, but I'm definitely not educated in any of this at all.
Maybe there's all the other suspension stuff like these guys, rear links, front arms, and everything else. If you're looking for more flat rides and cornering abilities.
Okay.
But usually springs are the first step.
Yeah, I just want it to be smoother because that's honestly one of my biggest complaints about the car.
Sure. I mean
I like it to be. I like tight steering. I like to feel like I'm low to the ground and I can feel the road. But I mean, it's just. I live in Houston and the potholes and the construction. It's like like all the time. Like I'm starting to hear like vibrating things, and I'm like, what is that? What's happening in my trim?
What year is your one?
Mine's a 2020, and then my husband has a 2021 Model Y.
Have you driven any of the 2023s by chance?
No.
The 2023 has a revised suspension.
Oh, really?
That Tesla put in there, and it's more closely related to this. So I was just curious if you had. Like,
no.
Say, this kind of
but I have some ones that I can test drive because one of the doctors that I work with, he just got a Model 3 Performance, of course.
Yeah.
So.
If you have a chance, I would definitely test drive that one and see how you feel about that one.
Okay.
This would be more similar to what this is.
So how much does this cost? So this is basically everything you would need for this, right? Or is it separate?
No, springs and flip stops are ultimately what you would need.
Okay.
So springs are $290. Flip stops are 100 or 120. I forget what they are right now.
Okay.
So I mean, total you're looking at say call 500.
Okay.
Plus whatever install is.
That's not bad.
So then if you use coupon.
Okay.
20% off.
I think I already have one, but I'll take another one. And so I guess you would just buy these online and then you would go to a shop and have them install them if they felt comfortable doing it on Tesla. Yeah.
Nobody Tesla shops at this stuff.
Yeah, there's not really any.
I can't think of anything. All the ones I
I'm
know
sure
are
there
down
will be, but it's like.
That said, I mean, spring installs, no matter what car it is, it's the same exact process.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you have a trusted
Well,
shop,
in that case, I mean, my dad and my brother can do it.
yeah, honestly.
They're both mechanics.
Suspensions
and,
are suspensions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's really not much to it.
Okay.
I mean, it gets a little wonky with the links and the arms.
Okay.
They're a little bit different on the Tesla. They're actually oriented different.
But for me, just these and this would be sufficient. Well, what are these things called?
These are pump stops. Basically, they go on top of the strutter shock. And what these are is they're a continuation of the spring.
Okay.
So when these basically these only get incorporated when you hit a bump,
Okay.
really hard bump. So when the springs contract and they get all the way down, they start engaging this.
Oh.
So this is just a continuation of the spring.
Okay.
So, but these are progressive as well. So these little rubber guys in here, they're harder on one side, soft on the other.
Okay, that makes sense.
Continuate the spring.
Got it.
But again, these are only really engaged under rough roads.
So my daily drive.
Well, it
yeah.
depends how bad it is, but
Yeah.
you think more potholes.
Yeah. No, there's a lot. There's a lot for sure. Yeah. I love these steering wheels. I like what y'all did with the grip here too, because this is how I drive with my thumb right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm always on autopilot, but I always have my hand on the wheel, so my thumb is always right here. Because it's awkward here, so that's literally perfect. I like it. I like it a lot.